y'all, Pam here with Be Creative Crafts, and welcome in to Off the Hook. How is everybody doing tonight? I am doing pretty well. So y'all, Tennessee has decided fall is here, and today the temps have been a little bit chilly for me. You know, when it's that first fall morning, when it's cold outside the bed and you don't want to get out from underneath your covers. Yeah, that was me this morning. Hello, Mr. Rudy. Hi, Samantha. Welcome in. Hello, Miss Tammy. How is everybody doing tonight? So, y'all, I went ahead and spun the wheel, and we are going to be working on a granny square. I'm going to use this and see if I like it. Is that what I used for my bag? Oh, my big bag's over there. But I think I'm going to do 3 rounds and then maybe do a join as you go in a solid. I don't know. We'll see. Rudy says, do you view, I don't know what that is. Hi, Mom, welcome in. Do I have cereal? I do not. No cereal tonight. All right, so let me go ahead and flip my camera and we'll get started on a granny square. Hey, Miss Karen, welcome in. Hey, Miss Lisa. She said she is going to be lurking, not feeling well. We'll feel better soon. All right, let me flip my camera here. Ta-da! Okay, I think, do I have the right center pull? Hold on. Let's get that out of there. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm going to use a small hook. Oh, speaking of hooks, let me show y'all this. Let's see. Miss Angela says, hi, Pam and everyone in chat. How are y'all doing tonight? I'm doing fine, drinking water and working on a sweater. Ooh, nice. Welcome in. Just working on a sweater, and that's cool. Okay, so y'all, let me show you the crochet hook I got from my cousin. I know I told y'all last week I was going to go get it. Hi, Miss Kimberly. So look how pretty it is. I did do a video. I just haven't finished editing it. Look how pretty it is. You see that wood grain coming through? Very nice, very nice. And then you just, you do like so. And ta-da, it's a crochet hook. And then have all the attachments here to switch it out. And one good thing, okay, so here's the seam ripper. I can swap it out. Well, that's not the seam ripper. That's the pokey tool. The seam ripper will also fit. So they're interchangeable. So, I'm going to put that over there. Let's see. Karen said she got her her corner to corner half double crochet. Nope. 2C2 granny square blanket done in neon for Halloween. Can't wait to see the look on the grandkids' faces when they get it. Ooh, nice. My mom said that's beautiful. Did Brad make it? He did. He did. And I just have to practice with it because and it's nothing he did. It's me. I'm used to holding my hooks up here. But with this, you know, I need to hold it back here, so I just have to practice with it. But I thought it turned out absolutely gorgeous. And he made it fat so I can hold on to it, so it's ergonomic. I think he did a beautiful, beautiful job. Rudy says, hola, hola. Okay, I think I'm going to use the H hook because that's what's laying here, which is 5 millimeter. Okay, Rudy, let's see here. He says, name a favorite menu item that I like from the McDonald's. Okay, so I'm not going to give specific addresses because I've never been to that McDonald's, but my favorite menu item, sandwich-wise, on the McDonald's menu is the fish sandwich. Let's see, do I want to do it that way? Do I want to start it with the magic ring. Yeah, let's do it with the magic ring. Kimberly said, it's gorgeous. Okay, so we're gonna chain 3 and then do 2 double crochets back into the ring. Hi, Ellie, welcome in. She says, what are you making tonight? I am making a granny square using this Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo in the color Mistletoe. And I'm going to make a couple of them, and eventually it's going to become a Christmas stocking, but I'm not sure I'm going to like the variegated for the center for the entire granny square, but I'm going to try it. So I worked, I did a chain of 3, then I did 2 double crochets, I did a chain 2, then I'm going to do 3 double crochets, I'm going to do a chain 2, 3 double crochets. First I got to get this yarn out of here, hold on. I thought maybe it was just stuck on that other piece, but nope. Wow, that is that's a knot. Hold on. Yeah. Can y'all see that? There we go. Then we'll do 3 more doubles. Ellie said, ooh, something new to me. So I saw a picture, and I showed it to my cousin last weekend, and then I got to looking at it, and it's AI, but it still is doable. All these AI pictures are kind of irking me, but they're also giving me some ideas. But this one was for a granny square stocking, and it actually made sense to do it this way. So we're going to try it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So then chain 2 and then do 1 more cluster. And then I'm going to pull my tail on my magic ring here. I'm going to pull that, and then I'm going to take this tail up with me before I finish out this last double crochet. Then let's see here. I'm going to flop it. Do I flop it over? Yeah. And then I'm going to do a half double to this first chain 3. And that's going to put me back in the center of my corner here. Because that's how I like to do my granny squares normally. Should have done a standing double. Okay, there we go. So now I'm in the middle of that ring. Let me zoom y'all down just one time here. Maybe twice. Nah, that's too close. We'll go once enough. Is that enough for y'all to see? Let me know if I need to zoom you back down one more time. Okay, so then I'm just gonna do a chain 1. I'm not gonna do the chain 3. And then I'm gonna work 3 double crochets back into that same corner. Maybe. Yeah. I'm trying to decide. I may frog this one back. We'll see. We'll do 3 doubles. And then I'm trying to think. Do I want to do chain 1 between each one for a stocking, or do I want to leave it? What do y'all think? Let's do chain 1 and see how it looks. Because I don't want to have to align it. I want it to be, that's why I was using a smaller hook than I normally would. Okay, so the corners, I'm doing 3 double crochet, chain 2. But I want it to be kind of tight, even though it's a granny square, because I don't want to have to align it. So then we're going to do chain 2, and then we're going to work 3 more double crochets back into that spot, or into that, and that's going to be our corner. Now, sometimes I will turn my granny squares at each round. For this one, I think I'm just going to continue it in the same, going the same way. And I may change it up. Karen said, no chain. Yeah, because the chain is going to let it lay flatter. And I'm thinking maybe because I'm doing it with, well, we'll do this one with a chain and then we'll see how it looks. And then I may do the next one without a chain. Whoops. Because I don't want to line it. I just want to, when it's done, I want it to be done. You know what I mean? Then we're going to continue that all the way around, doing 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. You can also do a granny square with 3 double crochets in the corner. That is totally up to you. And depending upon which website you're looking at is going to tell you how to do it differently. So it's personal preference, however many y'all want to do. It's also a personal preference if you want to start your granny square in the center, like, or in a corner, or if you want to start it on a side. But really, on a granny square, you can start it in any of the spaces that you want to. Chain 2, 3 double crochets. And I think I'm going to do 3 rounds in the variegated, and then the 4th round will be my join as you go. And I think I may do it in red, or I may alternate it out, like one stocking do it in red, then one do it in green, one do it in blue, and I almost said blue, in white. Chain 1, and then in this corner work 3 doubles. And then we will do a half double crochet to mimic our chain 2, which will also put us back in the center of this corner, in this last corner. So we're going to do a half double. And now that forms the corner for that one. Hola, Maritza, welcome in. The center pull is coming up, open, tighten that back up. I don't know if I like, well, I guess if I weave it back in, we'll see. Chain 1, and then we're going to start back over and work 3 double crochets back into this corner. And this will be our 3rd and final round of this little baby granny square. And then we're going to chain 1, and then if you've never worked a granny square, you work your next little cluster in that chain 1 space. And this time we're just going to work 3 double crochets in that space. And we're going to chain 1, and then in this corner work 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And then when I get this one done, I'll sit it down and look at it and decide if I like it or not. Or if I want to do it, if I want to do the main granny square in a solid and then do the join as you go in the variegated. I don't know. So then chain 1 and then repeat. In your chain 1 space, do 3 double crochets. And I do have a tutorial on my channel for a granny square. I do it slightly different than the way I'm doing it here, but relatively the same. Chain 1, and then in the corner work 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And this one's kind of pooling a little bit, so like all of this corner is going to be in red, which is kind of cool. Chain 1, which means this other corner is probably going to be, well, no, it's not all green. It's half green, half red. Well, that's weird. And then 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So has anybody in chat made a granny square stocking? Let me know. But I think I'm going to need 22 granny squares to make this stocking. Possibly, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll have to count them out again. Because, so for the toe, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Maybe 18. Depends on how tall it is. May only need 18 instead of 22. We'll see. Depends on how big your granny squares are. Chain 1. And then 3 double crochets. Now since this is our last round, instead of doing the half double, we're going to chain 2. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to slip stitch to that first one. And then we'll fasten off. And let me find my scissors. Whoa. Okie dokie. So that's what's... See, I don't know if you're going to be able to really see, if I do it this way, if you're really going to be able to see that granny square. I mean, you'll be able to see it with the outer round. Do I have any red or green laying here? Let's see. Let's take a look. See here. What color are you? Oh, yeah, you'll work. You shall work. Come here. Okay. Here's some green. Okay, let's just give it a go and see what it looks like. I'm not going to fasten this one off because I'm going to, when I join all these, I'm going to do them as a join as you go, I think. Okay, let's see. Okay, see how it's, well, I don't know if y'all can tell. Let me zoom down. Unless you block them. Zoom down. Unless you block it, sometimes it kind of gets like a little turn to it. If you turn after each round, it doesn't do that. Ellie says, I think it looks nice. Hi, Nancy. Welcome in. But if you're doing them small, it's not as noticeable as if you're doing a really large project in the granny square. So if I'm doing more than just a small little swatch like this, I'm going to turn it after each one, and then that keeps it from wanting to turn or kind of curve. Ooh, Nancy's watching Tony and Ziva. I am so behind on Tony and Ziva. Okay. So, since we are since we're just playing around, I'm going to show y'all how you can do how you can start it not in the corner. And we're going to do a standing double, and we're just going to start in any of these chain 1 spaces that's not a corner. So to do a standing double, I think I said I don't know what I said. We're going to do a standing double. So you go ahead, wrap it around your hook, your yarn. Take my tail out of the way here. So I use my thumb to hold it in place. Insert your hook. We're going to take Mr. Telly Tail here. Whoops, let me zoom back out. I'm a little too close for y'all to see. Okay. Then you drop your yarn like you're going to do a double crochet. So you still got, now you got your 3 loops on the hook. So yarn over, pull through the first 2. And then yarn over and pull through the last 2. That's a standing double. Then we're going to work 2 more double crochets right back into there. And I'm working across that tail, but I'm also going to take this tail up with me in this last one. That way it gets woven in as I go. And I'm going to make sure I have the right one here. And I'm going to chain one, taking that tail with me. Then over here, I'm going to over there, do another double crochet. I'm going to stop halfway up. This is just how I work in my tails, y'all. Take that tail, go back across. So now I've taken my tail up in this stitch, across, and now I've taken it back down this stitch, and now I'm going to work it. I'm just going to work across it for my next 2 double crochets. And sometimes I'll work it in again, and then I'm going to drop it to the back, and then I'll weave it in later. But does anybody else work their tails in like that? Just wondering. But yeah, so I'm behind on Tony and Ziva. I need to get caught up. Last weekend, I went to 3 craft shows, y'all. So if you haven't seen it yet, I do have a video out of the craft show in town. I did not get as much footage in the booths as I intended to, but I did get 2 videos of 2 different vendors. So if y'all go check them out, they also have Facebook presence, Etsy, and you can check out some of their items. I did do better at Banana Pudding Festival. I do not have that video edited yet. And I also went to a quilt show, which should be coming out this weekend. I will be getting it edited. Let's see. Nancy said, I see the granny square. Is it for a particular project? Yes, I'm going to make a granny square stocking. But I want to see if I like it with the variegated or if I want to swap it out, like do each. I don't want to do each round a different color. I know that that's like a typical granny square where each round is different, but y'all know I'm not about the whole weave it in the ends, which I guess I could do. I could knot it. Okay. Anyway, so here we are at the corner. So we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And I'm using a smaller hook size than I normally would just because I want it to be a little bit tighter, because I don't want to have to line the stocking, but we'll see. Oh, this color is Patty Green. It's also Red Heart Super Saver. I think it matches pretty well. A little bit different. It's coming across more different on my computer screen than it looks like in like looking at it, but yeah. Nancy said, sometimes if I remember to. I don't even know what I asked. Okay, the chain one. Maybe the standing double. I don't know. Okay, so then we're gonna skip over and then we're gonna do 3 double crochets in that chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip over to the next one, and then work 3 double crochets. Nancy says, I feel I don't do granny squares because of the tails. That's why I like the all-in-one granny. See, do they have a Christmas all-in-one granny? Chain 1. Then here we are back at the corner. So we're going to do, oh, I know what I asked. The weaving in the tail thingy, I betcha. Okay, so I'm going to take this tail and I'm going to bring it back across this way and work across it. And then I'm going to do my 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Chain 2, 3 doubles. There's Nancy reminding me what my question was. I had an aha moment. I remembered. Chain 1. Then skip over to your chain 1 space and work 3 double crochets. Now, if you do want it to be a little bit tighter, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't do this, you can leave off that chain 1 and just jump straight over. Again, it depends on the project, and I was just trying to decide how I wanted to do this. And we're going to measure, if I have a little tape measure laying here, which it does not appear that I do. Because this might be way too big of a square for a stocking. Which again is how I know that that picture was AI, because they did 4 rounds and it looked rather small. But, you know. Let's see. Karen says, yep, on her granny Halloween blanket, she did 35 and loads of tails. Yeah, I'm not a fan of weaving in the tails, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. But it's not my favorite thing to do, weaving in tails. Nope, nope, nope. That's why on Jericho I did that hybrid weaver's knot. Or a version of a magic knot, whatever you want to call it. Either way, that's what I did. Y'all, keep pulling my yarn. About to fall off of the table. Or the desk over here. We're going to chain 1. Then we're back to a corner where we work 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Also, you can do a chain 3 in the corner. Again, that is totally up to you and your tension style. If you need it to lay flatter, if you feel like it's pulling in on itself, do that chain 3. Give yourself a little more, what's the word? Make it a little looser so it'll lay flatter. Okay, then we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to slip stitch to that first double. Okay, let me grab a stitch marker. There's one laying right here. Batteries. Okay. Well, that's one of the poo-poo stitch markers, but that'll be all right. I bought a batch of janky ones, y'all. Okay, so that's what it looks like. That might be too busy for a stocking, and I think it's going to be way too big. All right, let me grab this. Nancy said she's tired of all the AI content. I like some of it, but there's no need to do an AI granny square stocking when there are so many legitimate granny square stockings. You don't have to do an AI created one. I mean, unless obviously you can't make one on your own. Okay, y'all, hold on. I gotta reach across. Okie dokie. We're using the big tape measure. So, and we're gonna measure this out. Okay, so this little guy is not quite 5 inches. It's about 4 3/4. Can y'all see that? Let's lock you down so you don't yeah. So we're about right at about 4 3/4. So the way that was saying would be you do 2, so it would be that wide. Well, no. Wait. I'm gonna look at the AI pic. Hold on. Because I mean, it did look like a nice layout. So let's see. Where did it go? Where did it go? Scrolling back. Scrolling. But yeah, like once I looked at the picture closer and like zoomed in on it, like all the stitches are either that or they used a printed fabric that looks like granny square. But okay, so 1, 2. No, I guess Okay. So that might work. Okay. So, let's see. Yeah, I got stuff sitting here. It's going to fall. Okay. Nancy says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Oh, yes, please and thank you. All right, so we got 4 1/4. No, 4 3/4. There we go. 9. So what would that be? 9 1/2. That's wide. That would be okay. Let's make you smaller. Okay. So what do y'all think? Would that be too? That'll be too wide. Do y'all think? That would make the stocking this wide. How wide are your normal stockings? Why? Because there won't be anything on the side, so it'd be just the front and the back, and then it'll open up. So I guess it'll condense on itself. What say you, chat? That may not be too wide. That might work. Okay. All right, so here's what you do. So you take 2 of these. Michael! He said, hiya, sweetheart. How are you? So you would take 2 granny squares and you put them side by side. Well, actually, you do 2 on the front, 2 on the back. But then, for this one, you fold it this way. And that creates, so you got your toe here, and then that creates the curve. We're going to see. My mom says that's too wide. Nancy says, I don't know, my stocking is in a box. It may be. It may be too wide. I'll play. I'm going to pull one out of my stockings and see. So then you would do 1 square here and 1 square here. And then for the heel, you fold it this way. Y'all see? Again, so Michael, I know you're just coming in. I found a picture of a really cute granny square stocking. Then more I looked at it, it's AI. But I'm still going to try to recreate the layout of it if it'll work. In my mind, it's going to work. So you do 2 granny squares, a folded granny square here and a folded granny square here. That's not going to be tall enough. Is it? Yes, it will, because this one sits this way. Yeah. So then you would do the other square here. So you do it here and here too, and then you start working your way up. So this just be a big old stocking to hold lots of stuff. You need a big stocking to hold all your goodies, right? Okay, so let's take a vote. Let's zoom down. Who thinks this is too busy? Nancy says, sketch it out. Yeah, I will do that. So who thinks this is too busy and who likes it? Let me zoom down. Ooh, Michael said he's doing good and he has a similar design for it in Tunisian. Ooh, filming soon. Nice. I think I'm going to have to see this out. I think I'm going to have to see it made up for me to decide if I like this or not. Right now, it's looking busy. Let me look at my, oopsies, let me look at my big old bag. Hold on, y'all. Because I made my bag, some of it is variegated. Come here, Mr. Bag. Okie dokie. But I mixed it up. Hold on. I don't know if y'all. Oh, this might be. Okay, so I've got like it, great for Christmas, I like it, not too busy. Thanks, y'all. Okay, well then I'm gonna keep going with this one because hold on, let me flip the camera. What am I kicking over? Because y'all seen the big bag. Let me do this here. Whoa, wrong button. This is the one I want. Nope. What? This one. They keep moving things on me, y'all. It's okay. I'll figure it out. Eventually. Eventually, I will get it. I will. Hey, y'all. Okay, so y'all remember the big old giant bag? You see, this one is a different variegated. This one's busier than that one, and then I did them all in solids. But I did a bunch of rounds. How many did I do on this guy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. So it's big. Karen said, I see one with the big granny square. Nancy said she's thinking of doing a spinner with that yarn. Ooh, fun. Okay. So to give y'all an idea, let's see there you are. Let's see how wide these bad boys were. So I'm going to do it like a join as you go method like I did with this, I think, or something similar if I can figure out the right pathway to take for stocking, which I mean I can. I may just have to sew it. Okay, so there ain't no way. I guess so. Okay, so these are 7 inches. These are 7-inch squares. Get my little handles here. Okay. So these are 7-inch, and then you got this little guy here. So that's kind of, so you can kind of see how big it is for reals. So it's not as big as it looks on that other, even though I had the tape measure there. That's it on a 7-inch square. Karen said I did the spinners. They're fun. She's done a few of the spinners. She's just I made a few of the spinners. I think I have one left. It's in there. But I need to make some more to play around with them. Nancy did a really cute thing on hers, and she put a tassel at the bottom of them, which I think was a good idea. Nancy said she made the spinner in the candy corn colors, and I love it. It's really cute. I did one in Tennessee colors. I sold that one at a craft show. I think the one that I have left is in pink, blue, and white. I do believe is what's in there. And then I put a crystal on the bottom of mine, like almost looks like a disco ball, but it's crystal. It's clear, so that when when the light hits it, it makes little rainbow prism thingies all over the. There's something hanging there, like a little tiny spider. You need to be gone. He needs to be gone. But Karen said I see one with 11 squares for a stocking. But I'm thinking, let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4. But then you got to do the back, got to count the back side too. I'll finish this one up this weekend and we'll look at it and see. Okay, so we are at 8:41. I need to ask y'all the Jeopardy question. I think y'all are gonna get it. I thought today's question answer, whatever, was fairly easy-ish. Michael said 13 probably. So on the toe, if I did 2 side by side, so 1, 2, so that would be 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, right? And then the top, and then I want it to cuff down. So, like I said, I'll have to play around with it and see. Because in my mind, and like I said, I mean, the AI picture, as far as the layout, got my brain to whirly-dirling, and I was like, ooh. I could do that. And I'm sure I could Google and I could look on YouTube and I'm sure I would find dozens and dozens of granny square stockings. But what fun would that be? When I could just sit here and try to, math, right? Actually, it probably would be a lot simpler if I would just look because somebody has already figured this out for me and I don't have to sit here and do it. But it's one of those things where now I want to try to figure it out on my own. But anyway. But I also don't want to have to, I don't want to have to line it. So I think the holes in this one are small enough. I mean, you wouldn't be able to put like a pencil in a stocking or nothing because it would come out the little, well, I mean, I guess you could, but it might come out the little holes, but Hershey Kisses ain't gonna fall out. And no little Reese's peanut butter cups are gonna fall out. Let's see, Nancy said it's too late for math. And I know, right? Michael says, exactly. I like to figure it out just like that. You learn the process, which can help with other pattern processes. Exactly. Ellie says, you like the challenge. I do. And that's the thing, though. Nancy was saying, she doesn't like the AI. She's tired of the AIs. I am, too, to an extent, because I see them, and then I'm like, I bet I could really do that, kind of like with this one. I know I could do it, but it's a matter of figuring it out. I don't even know how that was like floating in the air. Okay. Alrighty. It is definitely too late for mathing. But let's go back to the Jeopardy. Okay. So our category is still legal briefs. So our answer for this week is exemption of ambassadors and such from local law enforcement is this two-word term. Now, I know with Nancy watching Tony and Ziva and being an NCIS fan like I am, she's probably going to know this pretty quick too. Michael says AI can inspire. Exactly. Michael coming in with diplomatic immunity. But let me show y'all this picture. Okay, so how many of y'all have used the AI shorts that YouTube has created? Now that is really fun. I don't know if y'all saw the video I put out this week. Was it this week? Monday, I think, is when it came out. Yeah, old girl got some creepy eyes, but she crocheting, and anyway, it's my little witch. But the first time I asked, I typed in what I wanted it to do. I used the same wording, but I had to change it up just a hair, because what it gave me first was, where's that? I know I took a screenshot of it because it was super duper cute. Thought I did. Maybe I did it Saturday night. I did do it Saturday night. Okay. I typed in witch, crocheting witch with a skeleton, I think is how I worded it. But let me flip my camera back around so y'all can see this better, because I think it's really cute. There we go. But she is, okay, I gotta turn the focus on. Focus in. Come on. Focus. Okay. They're not gonna focus in. Maybe if I zoom it down. There we go. But look how cute they are. But they are AI generated, but they're crochet. But aren't they cute? And then there was this one. It gave me 4 options to choose from. So it gave me her. She's looking all mean. But that one was really cute. Kind of has a Jack Skeleton vibe to him. But I thought they were really cute. And I didn't create the video with them because I actually wanted a crocheting witch. There's the crocheting witch. But like her eyes were kind of freaking me out, so I almost didn't post her. But anyway, but they're really fun. If you haven't played around with it, or if you haven't found where to do that at, I was thinking about doing a video on it. Let me know if that's something y'all would be interested in seeing on how to do that. There are others already out there that are doing it, but if y'all are interested in seeing something like that, let me know. Let's see. Nancy said her problem with AI is that friends send them to her and ask her to make one, which I could probably figure it out, but they don't know how much work. Yes, agreed. I have gotten quite a few. And like that little witch and that little, those are super cute, but they're totally AI. And like when I make it, it's not going to look exactly like that. Nancy said, yes, please, a video. Okay, I can do that. Where's my little list? I'm getting better at keeping my little notebook right here. And, okay. Oh, look, you even already have a pen in there. Okay. So right here, we're going to go. Oh, and I need to do my viewer post thing. Susan sent me a picture of her Jericho. So I need to confirm with her that it's okay to add it. But I need to go in. But I know we talked about this last week. Has anybody got their viewer post turned on in chat? Okay, so how to do AI short. The one thing I have found with the AI shorts, once you add the music to them, like there's not a lot of editing that you can do after the fact. Like if you want to change the music, you can't do that. I guess you could download it, re-upload it, and then override the music, but that's a whole lot of work. But you get to do all the edits and stuff before you upload it to begin with. But it's just a fun little thing to play around with. Nancy said she doesn't have it on. I'm thinking about turning it on. We talked about it a little bit last week. I'm thinking about turning it on so that, like if you make any of my patterns or if you make any of any of my tutorials, if you do any of them and you want to share your work, you can share it on a community post on my channel. Kind of like a Facebook group, sort of, kind of. But I need to look at it. That was my plan. That was what I was going to do last weekend. I was going to do that on Friday. I don't even remember what I did on Friday, honestly. I did something. I didn't stay home. Oh, I know what I did. I went out with my cousin. That's what I did. I went and got my crochet hook. But yeah, that's what I did. And then I went to the 3 craft shows. I went to 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. So I didn't do any of my office work that I was going to do. So now I'm going to do that this weekend. So, but anyway, so I need to look into that and see how it works. I do know a couple of creators that have it, but I haven't talked to them about it. So to see how it works as far as if you have to approve the post or if it's a feature where you can turn that off so anybody can post, or if, you know what I mean? Or if, I don't know. I have to look into it, which was supposed to be last weekend, which is now going to be this weekend. Nancy said, but you had fun, right? I did have fun. I did. So I bought this really cute candle at the one on Saturday. That one was on the square. It was sponsored by, or it was put on by the local craft guild, arts and crafts guild. So they did that one, and it was on our town square. It was on Saturday only. And then the quilt one was put on by the quilt guild. And it was all these beautiful quilts. And there I won a door prize. Okay, so on the community post thing, channel subscribers can post, and if you end up not liking having it active, you can turn it off. Oh, okay. Because I was wondering, because you know, some people, like if I don't have to approve every post, I'm leery about what people will post. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want something to get posted that goes against YouTube community standards. Or if it's something where you can say you approve the post or not approve the post. But I know that's one more thing that I have to like look at if it's something that I have to approve before it posts. But I would also rather do that if, and it may be a complete non-issue. Nobody may want to, nobody may try to post something that's inappropriate, but I just want to, you know, I'm trying to think of all the things before you don't approve. So you turn it on and they just post. Okay. Okie dokie. Gotcha. I'll have to think on that some more. Hey, Miss Rachel. She says, hey, Michael. Oh. So I busted out my fa la 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 cup today. Well, actually, this week. This has been, this, it was supposed to get left at work. I try to leave some of my mugs at work. But I went to Sonic at lunch, and this one still has all my Sonic ice in it. I don't know if y'all can see it down in there. That was too much Sonic ice to just leave at work to like melt, so I had to bring it home. Nancy said she's weary about that too, and I haven't noticed it on other people's platform or other people's channels. I haven't noticed that being an issue, but it could also be that YouTube has filters already in place that they just automatically yank them out. Okay, so Michael said he's had his active for a long time. It rarely gets used, just for whip progress or pattern questions. Haven't had any weird posts. Okay, that's good to know. That is good to know. I may give it a whirl. I may just turn it on and just see, because that would be so much more convenient for viewers than emailing me their pictures and then me having to upload them. It would be so much more convenient for the viewer to be able to just post their picture on the channel if they want to share it. So Rachel said hey to me and Miss Nancy. A couple weeks ago I gave you a shout out on my channel. I saw that. I believe I commented. I think I did. I think I commented. Pretty sure I did. I know I watched it. I think I did though. Pretty sure I did. I'll double check. I will double check, but I think I did. But I appreciate the shout out. Absolutely. All right, y'all, let me go over here. Let's see here. Okay, so for those that are listening and lurking or catching the replay and not seeing the screen, this week's category for the Jeopardy question is legal briefs. And the answer was exemption of ambassadors and such from local law enforcement is this two-word term. And the question is, what is diplomatic immunity? Michael says, yep, it is easier. They will just need to tag you. Otherwise, it does get lost along the way at the bottom of the YouTube Studio app. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So, like, it does, you don't automatically, okay. But still, I'm going to, it's still on my list. I didn't check it off last week since I didn't come in here and do all of that stuff. So I will look at that this weekend, and I may just go ahead and turn it on. I may do it after this live just to go ahead and get it taken care of, and try it out and just see. And like Michael said, if I don't care for it, if I don't like it, I can always turn it off going forward. So yeah, we can give it a try. So what has everybody got going on this weekend? And I almost forgot. Okay, so y'all, the Crafty Ladies is going to be on the, let's see, on the 25th of this month instead of the 18th, because I will be at a wedding. The wedding is a late afternoon wedding, so there's a possibility I would be home with plenty of time. But there's also a chance that we will be partying it up and I won't be home in time. So rather than me have to rush back, we're going to postpone it. It'll be on the 25th. And this month, we are over at Miss Nancy's house. So y'all come and see us there. So what do I have going on this weekend? Lots of stuff. No, lots of stuff in the YouTube streets. I'm gonna get that video edited for the quilt show, and my battery on my phone was going down, so I kind of had to rush through because I wanted to show all of the quilts. So by rushing through, though, I don't think I got all of the tags that tell who made the quilt, what the quilt was about, what inspired it. So what I'm thinking I might do is just do like a walkthrough of the quilt show with just music and showing the quilts. What do y'all think about that? Does that sound good to y'all? Let me know. But that's what I'm kind of thinking, just because I don't want to give misinformation about who made the quilt or what the pattern is, but I also don't want to, I don't know. I just don't want to give the wrong information. I don't want to say that it's this quilt when it was that quilt. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at the brochure that they gave me, and it didn't have all of the, well, I take that back. I had one like folded brochure. I didn't look in the other book. If the other book has all what they all are, and I can tell what they all are, I may do like a little snippet of that beforehand. But otherwise, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see. Michael said, plans this weekend: learn how to use a Swift and unhank and cake some yarn. Woohoo! Fun. Let me take this banner off of here. I have a Swift. I have a very well, I'm not gonna say it's an inexpensive Swift because I didn't pay for it. It was gifted to me by Miss Wanda, but it's like the umbrella I mean, it's plastic instead of wooden. And I was gonna buy one, and she said she had an extra one, so when she was passing through my area one day, she stopped in and gave it to me, and it works wonderful. It works fantastic. I love it. And then you just take your little winder and and it spins. Woo! I guess it's called like an umbrella style. It's what it kind of looks like. It kind of pops out. But anyway. Let's see. Nancy's gonna schedule that live when she gets back to her computer next week. Nancy's gonna go to the library to get this month's book boxes. See, I think that's super cool that your library does that. I don't think our library does that. I haven't checked. So they very well could. I haven't heard anybody locally talking about it, so I don't think they do. But that's cool. Nancy's library gives out like a craft box each month with like stuff to make stuff. Well, you're talking about your book box. They do a craft box too, and they give you all the supplies and everything. So Nancy, you don't have to pay for that, or you do have to pay for that? I'm kind of thinking you don't have to pay for it, but I could be wrong. Like one month they gave her like stuff to make a little crochet thing, gave the pattern, the yarn, everything. And then this month was for embroidery, and it was for a little a ghost. Wasn't it a ghost? I think it was a ghost. But I mean, they gave them the hoops and everything free, the embroidery floss, everything that you need to make that craft, which I think that's super awesome. So I think it's really cool. All right, y'all. I'm going to make some more of these. Michael said, oh, wow, that's so cool your library does that. I know, right? I need to check and see if any of the libraries around here do. I really don't think ours does. Nancy said, yes, it's a ghost. I need to get the name of your library, give it to my favorite librarian here in town, and that way she can reach out or go check it out and see if that's something that we could do here. I'm sure that it's not inexpensive to do that, because I know they, I don't know how many they give out, but stuff that kind of stuff is not cheap when you're doing it in such a large quantity. So I think that's really cool that they do that. But, all right, y'all, it's 9 o'clock. My hour is up, and I'm just still sitting here yapping. Nancy said they also have craft afternoons, but she hasn't been able to go yet. See, that would be fun too. Now, we do have a yarn group that has started meeting. Well, they didn't just start, but I just found out about them a few months back. But they meet over in the other county at the library. But they were meeting on Wednesday nights, but then they switched it to Tuesday nights. So I still can't go because that's family dinner night. Which, I mean, I guess I could beg off of family dinner night one night and go, but I don't do that. Angel said she's enjoyed being here. Have a good night, everyone, and stay happy, happy, happy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mom says, good night, time to read her Bible. Good night, Mom. Alrighty, y'all. I'm going to make some more of these. Michael said theirs has a huge craft room, 3D printers, and all different Cricut machines, yarn, etc., but it's rarely stocked. Oh, but that would be, see, I don't think ours, I need to get to my library, okay, because I don't want to be sitting here saying ours don't when it might. I need to check it out. Now, I know we have like a big like community room at the library, because I've been to like, well, we have 2 libraries in my county. I've been to like a Tupperware party type thing and at one of them, and the other one used to take the kids to different events and stuff. So I will have to check into it and see if our library has anything like that. Because I would like to learn how to use a 3D print machine. One of the guys at the craft show over the weekend, I met him last year because he was like 2 booths up from us. But I didn't do Banana Pudding Festival this year. This year I went as a shopper. But I did pop into some of the other booths because I don't usually get to see all the booths, but him I did because, like I said, he was just 2 booths up from us. But he that's what he does. He does all the 3D printing. So I would like to, look at it, check it out. Ellie said, everyone take care and have a beautiful, blessed evening. Thank you. Nancy said the library in Homestead has the 3D printers, but they charged. Oh. I just want to learn how to use one. I'm pretty sure we have one at work, but it's a big one. And the one that the guy had, because he brought it with him to Banana Pudding, and he had a thing printing. He was making a little, I don't know what he was making, something that had all moving parts. So, but I don't know. I think it would be cool. It would be fun to look at. I don't know that I want one for myself because there's so many people around here that are doing that, and so like I would be competing with them as far as like at the craft shows and stuff, because there was one booth set up on the square and then there was a couple of people set up at Banana Pudding. So and that's not like my main thing, so I don't know, but it still would be fun to play with, you know what I'm saying? All right, this time I'm really going. All right, y'all, let me go over here and find my little my videos. All right, y'all, have a fantastic weekend, and I hope y'all stay warm if it's starting to get cold in your neck of the woods, because it's been a little bit chilly here. Not a fan of the coldness, but it's that's what happens when you start getting into fall. It starts getting cooler weather. It has to. That's part of it, but that's okay. I'll survive. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a fabulous weekend. Remember, be creative. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye.